Hi, it's Michael. Control freakism is built into the human ego, is part of the human ego, or it could be said is the human ego. And so it's not a question whether you have control freakism in you. It's the question of how much it is active, how much it is in action. The desire to control events, outcomes, life, people, and even at a very deep core, God is part of this control freakism. And it doesn't need to be probably stressed too hard that all this is negative, destructive, and it accomplishes the opposite of one wishes to accomplish. It pushes the events, the goals, and the people away from us. It poisons everything. So control freakism is not good. Some examples of control freakism will be now given, and please keep in mind these are just some examples, not all of them. Are, for example, you come to a place, Airbnb, you're staying at a friend's place, you come to your parents' place, or whatever, and you start immediately evaluating the decoration of the place, where things are within the place, where the furniture is, where the paintings are, the colors of the walls, and you start thinking in your head how to rearrange it, or you even start rearranging the furniture and the paintings yourself. One example of control freakism. Another one, you tell your friends, your children, how they should be, what they should do, how they should behave, what they should wear, and so on. Now, of course, part of positive parenting is guiding the children towards positive, healthy stuff. So sometimes putting one's foot down and saying enough of this, and that is important. That's part of positive parenting. But it is not the same as telling the child what the child should be doing, what the child should do as an occupation, and so on. Another example, you see somebody struggling with some task or something, and you jump in and try to help the person. And you jump in uninvited. That again is control freakism. Another example would be you see somebody wearing certain types of clothes or makeup or hairstyle or whatever, or tattoos, and again you start telling the person that shouldn't be this way, it should be that way, and so on. And another example, you try to control God, you try to control the goals, the events of your life. You tell God what should happen, what should be. So there is the famous saying, man proposes and God disposes. It could be more accurately rephrased as the ego proposes and God disposes. And at least one of the reasons is that when we try to control something, we actually push it away from us. Control freakism is actually a way of being attached to whatever we are trying to control. And when we are attached to something, we immediately push it away from us. So it's quite unlikely that the desired outcome will happen, or if it does happen, that it happens positively. So control freakism is a big spiritual anchor. It keeps us from evolving further, and it needs to be dropped. So how to drop it? What is the antidote to it? So for one, it is living with awareness, and when you see control freakism arising, the wish to judge and and control events, whether it's just in your head or whether it's actually physically, then drop it. Relax, breathe deeply, and let go of it. And you can say to yourself, I don't need to control it. I'm okay letting it be the way it is. If you see somebody struggling with something, or you think that somebody needs help, whether it's a stranger or whether it's your family, whether it's your children, whatever, ask, may I help? How may I help? To what degree may I help? And if the person says, I don't know, then rather than barging in forcefully, is, so if I do this, would it be okay with you? Or to accomplish this, I would suggest this action or this way of doing it, but it's up to you. You decide. Do you want to do it that way or no? It's up to you. It's your choice. That way you're not forcing anything, you're not imposing anything on anybody. If you try to control people around you, you're poisoning your relationship with them, and that is obviously not positive. So, living with awareness, discerning with intelligence and with intuition what is actually positive guidance towards somebody and what is control freakism. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not so easy. So one can pray to the Spirit, asking for guidance in that, in discerning what is a positive guidance and what is a desire to control. Another way to tell is using NET, neuro-emotional technique, that can be used to help discern whether one is trying to control something or whether it's a positive guidance. And as Dr. Wayne Dyer wrote in his book, The Power of Intention, rather than trying to tell existence, God, the Spirit, how your life should be, what should be the outcomes of your actions, then set your intention. Of course, the intention needs to be set to a positive goal, something that is integrous, something that is in line with divinity. If it's something negative, something unhealthy, something destructive, then the chance of it happening is not very high, or if it does happen, then it's to your detriment, not to your help. So setting your intention and letting existence go with it. Of course, you try to help it as best as you can. So, for example, you want to live in a healthier house, better house. So you imagine the house you would like to live in, something nice and positive, and you imagine how happy and joyful you would be living in that house. And then you do your best to live as healthy life as you can. It means eating healthy, drinking healthy, healthy habits, healthy lifestyle, being positive towards life, being kind towards life. That way you maximize the chances that that will happen, and you actually, in a way, could be said, almost enable God to help you align yourself with the Spirit, and that way there is the highest probability that what you imagined will actually manifest. And that's it for this talk. If there are any questions or comments, they can be left below the video. Wishing you a healthy and joyful life. Michael out.